want to bring in John Lucich. He's the CEO of Network Security Group and a former state criminal investigator. He joins me now on Skype. Thank you so much for joining us, John. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I had been reading this morning, there was one vocal critic, I guess you could say an advocate, criticizing these facial recognition cameras. And he said, listen, I feel like this is a fundamental invasion of privacy. What's your reaction?
Well, number one, they actually help the public, just like your last story where the mother and the son were missing and couldn't be found. If that little boy was inside a place where that had facial recognition, he wouldn't need to call anybody. The cops would know right where he was. It would identify him right away. Crimes against women are growing, okay? These guys sometimes are out on the lam, they're on the run, and facial recognition will get them off the street before another woman is actually harmed. There are so many great things about facial recognition. This will hurt people if they ban this. In only cities that ban this, the criminals will flourish and use these as safe havens.
Well, you know what I was going to ask you as well? I mean, that's an excellent point. But also, when you're out in public, what type of privacy do you have? I mean, you're out in the public, so aren't you well aware that there could be cameras?
Absolutely. There is no expectation of privacy. Just like you were having a conversation with somebody on the street and a cop overheard you, you can't claim that he violated my privacy. You're literally out on the street. There have been legislation about this in the past, about photos have been taken of people who didn't want their photos taken. Could you imagine the ramifications this would have if a camera capturing an image? What would that do to CNN, to Fox, to everybody else that is actually out there with cameras? It will all get caught up in this, and then they're going to have to try and lock it down. So and then it's not fair when we ban some and not all. Facial recognition works, and that's why they're against it. I don't know why we have politicians all the time trying to help the criminals, because certainly this is not going to help individuals who, by the way, put their photos up on Facebook, sell their privacy away with the click of a button on Google or any other app that they download. I refuse to install those apps that say we're going to take your contacts and everything else on your cell phone. I don't do it. Many people do, and they're going to complain about facial recognition.
This may seem like a silly question, so I need you to clarify. Is there a difference between surveillance cameras and then the cameras that use the biometric maps? Meaning, can you just have cameras that maybe don't identify humans, or do they automatically have the technology built in with these cities that can recognize a person, an individual?
A camera is a camera. It's the software behind it. What processes that? That camera, you can use any camera to capture an image and then send it to a software product that actually recognizes that. Surveillance is always on. But why, if I own that video now and I have it, why can't I do what I want with it? We have surveillance footage of apartment buildings. So if somebody gets mugged on the stairwell or somebody's going in and breaking into an apartment, how many times have footage actually helped the cops solve crime? Could you imagine what would have happened if he was recognized before he committed that crime? We're always looking for the bad guys after they hurt somebody. And like I said, women are always going to be the #1 target of this. And now we're complaining that we have a tool that's going to help protect women. I don't understand politicians.
Right. And like you said, with that young little 8-year-old girl who's now safe with her mother, the cops had said, thank God for this Nest camera. She's home now. I mean, it was 8 hours.
And how many stories do we have like that?
Right.
Yeah, how many stories do we have like that nationwide? Facial recognition is important, and it's here to help us, not hurt us. It's only hurting us if we're the bad guys.
All right, John Lucich, thank you so much.